The Baltimore Ravens coaching search has been one of the most intriguing storylines this offseason, with names coming and going and debates heating up over what direction the team should take. Rex Ryan didn't hold back in sharing his thoughts on the situation, and while some of his points hit the mark, others leave a lot to consider. The conversation around this search isn't just about finding someone to fill the head coach role, it's about identifying a true leader, someone capable of rallying the locker room and establishing a culture that players can believe in and respond to. That kind of leadership has been a hallmark of John Harbaugh's tenure, and it's something the Ravens will be chasing as they look ahead. Over the past few seasons, it became clear to outside observers that there were moments where things fell off, and the balance in the locker room wasn't always perfect with every team. There will be players who buy fully into the coaching philosophy and others who are more skeptical, and the Ravens are no exception. Some players were clearly ready to embrace a new chapter, while others seemed hesitant, and that dynamic has played a major role in shaping the narrative around this coaching search. From a defensive standpoint, the discussions are equally complex. While the Ravens' defensive struggles have been apparent, the real question is less about the position they are in right now, and more about the direction they want to take with the coaching staff as a whole. It's unlikely that the team will bring in another special teams-focused coach like John Harbaugh or Joe Judge. So the focus now shifts to whether the organization wants a head coach with an offensive mindset or a defensive background. The trend across the league is moving toward delegators, coaches who assemble strong coordinators and let them call plays, but there is still a critical need for someone who can convey a clear, consistent message and inspire players to execute at the highest level. A head coach who can motivate, hold players accountable, and maintain a strong presence is what the Ravens need, regardless of whether their play calling comes primarily from the offensive or defensive side of the ball. This is not just about X and O's. It's about creating a culture where the message lands with every player, and there's no ambiguity about expectations. Recent developments in the coaching search have introduced several intriguing possibilities. The Ravens have requested interviews with Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula and pass game coordinator Nathaniel Scheelhaase. Shula brings a mix of experience and pedigree, being the grandson of legendary coach Don Shula, and he has steadily worked his way up through the NFL ranks, from starting as a defensive quality control coach with the Chargers to assistant linebackers coach and eventually defensive coordinator for the Rams. Shula has been involved with multiple strong defensive units, including a Super Bowl winning team. While the Rams' defense under his coordination was middle of the pack statistically, Shula's track record in developing pass rushers and linebackers, as well as his exposure to high-performing defensive systems, makes him a compelling candidate for Baltimore. His ability to manage a defensive line, cultivate talent, and foster a winning mindset could bring the kind of edge that the Ravens need to reclaim dominance on that side of the ball. On the offensive side, Scheelhaase represents a younger generation of coaching talent. At just 35 years old, he has quickly risen through the ranks of the Rams staff, moving from offensive assistant to pass game coordinator in just a couple of years. His role within Sean McVay's system has been impactful, focusing on developing dynamic passing concepts and helping integrate high-level strategy into game planning. If the Ravens decide to pair a defensive-minded head coach with a strong offensive coordinator, Scheelhaase could be that bridge, especially in a system where a younger, innovative approach is desired to complement established veteran talent like Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. The Ravens have several options, and the decisions they make regarding coordinator hires could define the trajectory of this franchise for years to come. Whether it's pairing a defensive-minded leader with a top-tier offensive coordinator or taking a different approach entirely, the balance between experience, innovation, and leadership will be the key. Looking across the broader landscape of candidates, there are plenty of options still in play. Names like Kevin Stefanski, Joe Brady, Matt Nagy, and Brian Flores have been mentioned, as well as others like Clint Kubiak, Jesse Meaner, and Vance Joseph. Each candidate brings a distinct philosophy and skill set, and the Ravens' challenge is to identify who can best align with the team's identity while bringing fresh ideas to the table. The dynamic between the head coach and coordinators will be crucial, particularly in deciding who calls plays and who oversees the execution of game plans. It's a delicate balance, as experienced coordinators often want autonomy in calling plays, and the Ravens must ensure that whoever is hired can maintain harmony while asserting authority in the right areas. The right combination could invigorate the team bringing renewed energy and focus to both offense and defense. The defensive side of the ball remains a priority, given past inconsistencies and the need for stability. Players like Byron Young and Jared Verse have shown they can perform at a high level, but the defense has struggled with consistency, particularly in the secondary. The arrival of a strong defensive coordinator, potentially Shula or someone in a similar mold, could provide the structural support necessary for the team to thrive. Baltimore has always been a defense-first franchise, and restoring that identity will be central to the new coaching regime. At the same time, offensive innovation cannot be overlooked, especially when building around elite talents like Jackson and Henry. The goal is to create a complementary structure where both sides of the ball function cohesively, driven by leadership that holds everyone accountable and fosters trust within the team. Ultimately, this coaching search isn't just about filling positions, it's about defining a culture. Leadership, communication, and the ability to inspire players remain the most critical factors, while statistical performance, strategy, and play calling are vital. They are secondary to establishing a cohesive unit where every player believes in the vision. The Ravens' next head coach and coordinators must be able to command respect, motivate through challenges, and maintain a clear sense of direction. Whether it's blending veteran experience with young, innovative minds or leaning on proven defensive strategies, the end goal is building a team capable of sustained success. The ongoing search and interviews reflect that commitment, as the Ravens continue to evaluate options, analyze fit, and weigh how each candidate aligns with the team's long-term objectives as the coaching process unfolds. The Ravens have also been exploring the broader organizational structure, including potential adjustments to practice schedules, preseason game management, and starter usage. A new coaching staff could bring changes in approach and preparation that affect everything from practice intensity to in-game decisions. The team is also examining the delegation of responsibilities, ensuring that coordinators have the support and authority to execute their strategies effectively, while the head coach maintains overarching control of the team's vision. These decisions are not minor. They will influence the team's performance throughout the season and shape the development of key players across all positions for the Ravens. The objective is to strike the right balance between innovation and proven methods, blending leadership, strategy, and player development into a cohesive, competitive framework. As the Ravens continue to explore coaching options, the focus has increasingly turned toward identifying individuals who can not only manage schemes, but also inspire confidence in the locker room. Leadership is more than a title. It's the ability to instill belief, hold players accountable, and create an environment where everyone buys into the same standard of excellence. Baltimore has seen periods of inconsistency over the past few years, particularly on defense. And one of the biggest challenges for the incoming staff will be reestablishing the culture that has historically made the Ravens a tough, disciplined, and competitive team. A head coach's presence in meetings, practice, and on the sideline sets the tone. But it's the way coordinators interact with players that often defines the success of any season. The balance of authority, mentorship, and tactical insight is what the Ravens need to navigate this pivotal transition. One of the most interesting angles of the search involves the blend of youth and experience. Names like Chris Shula and Nathaniel Shieldhouse bring unique perspectives that could be vital to shaping the next era of Ravens football. Shula's defensive background, combined with his exposure to championship-caliber units, offers a blueprint for revitalizing a unit that has had flashes of brilliance, but struggled with consistency. Meanwhile, Shieldhouse's offensive acumen represents the cutting edge of modern NFL strategy, with innovative concepts and the ability to adapt to a dynamic quarterback like Lamar Jackson. Pairing a defensive-minded head coach with a strong offensive coordinator or vice versa isn't just about dividing responsibilities. It's about assembling complementary skill sets that maximize the potential of elite talent on both sides of the ball. How these individuals work together will likely determine whether the Ravens reclaim their reputation as one of the league's most formidable franchises. The question of delegation has become increasingly important in today's NFL. Successful teams are often led by head coaches who understand that they cannot manage every detail alone. Instead, they surround themselves with coordinators and assistants capable of taking ownership of their units, while the head coach maintains a strategic overview. This model has worked for several teams in recent years, allowing for innovation while keeping a firm hand on team culture. Baltimore's challenge is to find the right mix of personalities, and philosophies, a head coach must be able to communicate effectively, instill discipline, and adapt to evolving circumstances. While coordinators need to be empowered to execute plans without confusion or overlap, in a league that increasingly rewards speed, flexibility, and creativity, finding this balance is a delicate but critical task. From a defensive standpoint, the Ravens are in a position where they must address both talent development and strategic execution. The performance of players like Byron Young and Jared Verse demonstrates that the team has foundational pieces, but consistency remains elusive. A coordinator like Shula could bring a renewed emphasis on fundamentals, discipline, and aggressive scheming, while also maximizing the potential of a talented defensive line. The challenge will be not only installing a system, but ensuring that every player buys into it, understands their role, and executes with intensity from the first snap of the season. In parallel, the Ravens' offensive strategy must continue evolving around Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, leveraging their unique skill sets while integrating modern concepts that keep defenses off balance. A dynamic offense paired with a disciplined, opportunistic defense could redefine the Ravens' identity moving forward. The idea of pairing a young, innovative coordinator with a more experienced head coach is an appealing concept. This allows the team to harness fresh ideas while maintaining strategic oversight and leadership continuity. Young coordinators bring energy, creativity, and modern scheming techniques, often introducing concepts that veteran players find engaging and challenging. At the same time, a seasoned head coach provides structure, guidance, and the ability to navigate high-pressure situations. This duality could be the formula for sustained success in Baltimore. Providing both innovation and stability, it's a model that has seen success in other franchises, and it offers a blueprint for the Ravens to maintain competitiveness while simultaneously modernizing their approach to the game. Another key factor in this search is the compatibility of coaching philosophies with player strengths. Every head coach and coordinator has a preferred style, but the ideal fit for Baltimore must consider the unique talents of the roster. Lamar Jackson's dual threat ability, Derrick Henry's power running, and the versatility of the receiving corps require a coaching staff that can maximize their potential while remaining flexible enough to adapt to defensive schemes designed to counter them. Similarly, the defense needs a system that leverages its pass rush, linebacker play, and secondary coverage to create turnovers and disrupt opposing offenses. The integration of these offensive and defensive philosophies is not simply a matter of X and O's. It requires thoughtful communication, buy-in from players, and a shared vision for success that permeates every practice, meeting, and game. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Breaking news from ESPN has sent shockwaves through the NFL rumor mill. The Baltimore Ravens have reportedly reached an agreement with edge rusher Jaelan Phillips, while official confirmations remain pending. Sources suggest that the Ravens are making a significant push to bolster their pass rush, and Phillips could be the missing piece to an already formidable defensive front. Phillips, known for his explosive first step and relentless pursuit of quarterbacks, has been on the radar of several franchises, but Baltimore's interest appears to have intensified in recent weeks. Analysts speculate that the Ravens front office sees him as a perfect fit for their aggressive defensive scheme, one that relies on speed, versatility, and the ability to create havoc in the backfield. With this move, Baltimore could be signaling a renewed focus on defense after a season that exposed some vulnerabilities against high-powered offenses. The buzz around Phillips has been building ever since his standout performances in college, where he showcased rare combination of size, athleticism, and football IQ. Despite battling injuries in the past, his potential impact in Baltimore cannot be ignored. The team's defensive coordinator is said to be particularly excited about integrating Phillips into their rotations, envisioning scenarios where he can line up both on the edge and inside, keeping offenses guessing. Fans and pundits alike are already speculating on how this acquisition might shift the balance of power in the AFC North. Could Phillips' arrival mark the beginning of a new era for the Ravens' defense? Some insiders suggest that Baltimore might not stop here, hinting at additional moves to complement Phillips' skill set. The NFL community is buzzing with hypothetical matchups, draft implications, and how this move could influence future free agency strategies. As with all rumors, caution is advised. Contract details, official medical reports, and final league approval are still pending, leaving plenty of room for surprises. But one thing is clear: Baltimore appears to be quietly plotting a defensive renaissance. And Jaelan Phillips might just be the crown jewel of that plan. If this deal comes to fruition, the Ravens could send a strong message to their division rivals: don't underestimate a defense that's willing to go all in for game-changing talent. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.